Elon Musk has always been one of the key persons in innovation. We've seen how Tesla has been dominating the world of EVs as different car companies strive to compete, but have yet to accomplish what Elon has done so far. Now there's been news about how Elon Musk wants to extend this innovation to the airline industry, and what's stopping him from doing so is his current workload. But will we actually see an aircraft that's faster, more efficient, and more sustainable than the traditional aircraft we see today? In this video, we'll talk about how Tesla is secretly planning to destabilize the airline industry. Welcome to Empire Investing, where we'll be sharing the latest in stock market news, technology, and innovative investment strategies for aspiring millionaires and billionaires. If this is your first time watching our channel, please consider subscribing to see more videos just like this, and let's get started. It's always been the dream to fly faster and get to where we want to go more than we usually do now. Back in the 1980s, the Concorde was about to dominate the airline industry. A flight with a normal airplane from New York to London will take at least 7 hours. With the Concorde, the flight would take half that time. What seemed to be the next big thing for supersonic flight had stopped because the Concorde had a lot of problems. The fuel was expensive, which limited its range. This airplane was extremely noisy and disrupting for citizens when it flew by, and not to mention that it was also destroying the ozone layer. But this will change because Elon Musk is looking to finish what the Concorde wanted to do: supersonic planes. There have been multiple occasions where Elon has mentioned his fixation on supersonic vertical technology.
But electric planes, I've been dying to do that for a decade, honestly. We've got quite a few fish to fry here. Maybe one day the electric plane.
And as we see how he instantly dominated the EV industry because they're faster, cheaper to maintain, and it's currently on its way to become cheaper than normal cars, there's a huge possibility that this technology will further transition to aircraft. But there's still one big problem: batteries. Along with other companies like NASA and Rolls-Royce, Tesla has been developing a battery that has far more density than previous lithium-ion batteries, which can accommodate the performance of aircrafts. To have a compelling aircraft, you only really need about 400 watts per kilogram, provided the percentage of cell on the aircraft is high. You just need to be anywhere near as high as it is on a rocket, but if it's sort of at the 70% level at 400 watts per kilogram, you can do a very decent range. Elon Musk.
You only really need about 400 watt-hours per kilogram, provided the percentage of cell on the aircraft is high. It doesn't need to be anywhere near as high as it is on a rocket, but if it's sort of at the 70% level at 400 watt-hours per kilogram, you can do very decent range.
A year ago, he mentioned that there's a high chance for a 400 watt kilogram battery to be produced in the next 3 to 4 years. And he has also mentioned multiple times that he has a design for a plane that will take off vertically. His plans to create a vertical takeoff and landing jet is probably what could answer Concorde's problems back in the 1980s. With Elon's plans to create an electric plane, issues of fuel being costly, noise, and disruption of the ozone layer is solved, since electricity is cheaper than fuel and is much quieter, as we've seen in electric cars. But how fast exactly will electric planes get? In one of Elon's previous Q&As, he explained that when it comes to the traditional planes we see today, the higher you go, the less efficient it becomes. With electric planes, the higher you go, the more efficient it becomes. Here's a clip that explains the differences. The higher you go, the better the electric, more efficient the electric aircraft is. Where if you have a combustion aircraft, as you get higher, it tends to get worse because you have a kind of a fixed aperture, and the hole in the part of the engine is a fixed size, and you have to pick a particular cruising altitude, and you gotta figure out how do you get the right amount of air at sea level all the way through really high altitude, and you've got this issue, supersonic combustion, that you see see in it having to slow air down, and it ends up being not that efficient. But electric aircraft just get better and better as it goes higher. Elon explained that as electric planes go higher, the air gets thinner. This will allow for supersonic speeds unlike a traditional aircraft, where the engine has to find the right amount of air resistance to function and operate efficiently.
The higher you go, the better the more efficient the electric aircraft is, whereas if you have a combustion aircraft, as you get higher, it tends to get worse.
In order to go really fast in a plane, you have to climb pretty high because the atmosphere looks like molasses when you're going fast. So something like Hyperloop can go really well in that arena because you're instantly or almost instantly entering a low-pressure environment. Elon Musk. Just like his Hyperloop project, which is a high-speed transportation system for trains, the tunnel must have no air inside to allow for supersonic speeds for trains to go through, even faster than the bullet trains we know today. As I mentioned earlier, there's been multiple reports of companies entering the eVTOL industry. NASA has been trying to develop an all-electric plane and has spent the last decade creating a battery and design for a two-seater plane that can reach speeds of 172 miles per hour. Rolls-Royce, over the course of 3 years, has now created a single-seat electric-powered propeller plane and has been hitting a top speed of almost 345 miles per hour over the distance of 3 kilometers, something that Tesla has to look out for in terms of competition. These are just a few of the companies that are vying to be on the top spot in the development of electronic aviation. But there are also other companies that are still doubting whether this development will push through. This doubt opens the dreadful question of whether they'll go obsolete just like Nokia and Blockbuster. But will this happen to Boeing and Airbus? The further development of electric aircrafts can easily disrupt these companies. Although Boeing and Airbus are constantly developing their aircrafts through incremental improvements. But when you think about it, if electric planes do take off in a few years' time, we might see Tesla being at the forefront of this innovation. That's all for today. What do you guys think about the development of electronic airplanes? Who will be the first in this innovative race in the airline industry? Join the discussion in the comments below. If you like the video, please click the like and subscribe button. See you guys in the next video.